Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. A little while ago, I'd shared with you that Skylar, the North Georgia piper on YouTube, had sent me some tobaccos, including this Svendborg Danish mixture. So, needed to break out the Danish pipe for this. This is an otherwise unmarked Danish estate pipe that my friend Julie had found and given me, and that I restored. I'm going to be talking about books today, so get ready and sit back. Let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. Says on the can, on the tin, that it has a bit of a vanilla aroma, and indeed it does. Very nice. Wow. You do taste that. Very, very nice. Thank you, Skylar. Sure appreciate that. Appreciate that gift. So, I'm wearing my shirt today that's got the classical dude riding his skateboard, got his sunglasses on. On the back it says, "Seize the day," which of course is the line from the Roman poet Horace, Carpe Diem. And it seemed appropriate to have a classical dude on the shirt for some of the things we're going to talk about. That tastes fine. So, the daughter of some friends of ours, in fact, this young lady was my wife's student at one point, is working on her master's degree in publishing at the University of Edinburgh over in Scotland. And as part of her work, she sent a survey out to her parents and asked them to share it with different people. So her mother did, shared it with my wife, shared it with me. And it's a survey asking questions about what people looked for in terms of the physical aspects to a book. And even to whether you would ever purchase a new edition of a book that you already owned, and a whole bunch of questions. Wonderful, wonderful questions. And the questions really got me thinking. I really enjoyed answering them. And as I explained to our friend, this young lady, there are several things I think about when it comes to reading. Now let's talk about the different kinds of reading. And I'm going to work up to probably what most people think of as a physical, tangible book. I've got one very, very, very dear friend, Mark, a little shout out to you, who does most of his reading by way of audiobooks. It just works for the flow of his life. He can listen to a book and really make his way through more books that way. I don't know that he necessarily does that with fiction so much as maybe nonfiction. Now, as far as that goes, I've done it. I've listened to a number of books. About a year or so back, I remember listening to Seamus Heaney's Beowulf while on vacation, traveling on vacation. So that's okay, and I've done it a number of times. It's not my favorite, but obviously that works for some people. Seems like my glasses are a little wonky there. Maybe it's my head that's wonky. Any rate, then the next level is, or the next kind of general type, is eyeball reading, but off of a screen, tablet, phone, all right, your computer, whatever. I do a lot of reading that way. Certainly professional reading, academic reading, a lot of stuff online. I have read full books on my phone. I've read full books on a tablet. I think we had the Nook at one point, a dedicated e-reader. Again, not my favorite. I've certainly done it. I've taken notes in it. You can obviously annotate and highlight and all that kind of thing, which I like to do, both with fiction and nonfiction. But it's kind of like when it comes to pipes. Man, that is really, really tasty stuff there, by the way. I like to hold a pipe. I like to, the aroma, we like that. The physical sensation of tamping down the tobacco. All that sort of stuff. And I like that when it comes to books. So let's talk about some books, shall we? Got several here for you. We have a wonderful bookcase in our home that belonged to my grandmother. I think she bought it for $3. It's a beautiful wood bookcase with a glass door in the front. Just an amazing piece. And we keep it in the entryway to our home, and that's where we have all of our old books. I don't necessarily say rare. I don't know how rare they are, certainly how valuable they are, but they are old, including this first 6 books of Virgil's Aeneid, which, let's see if we can find a publishing date here, 1883. 1883. And as you can see, this is Latin, okay? And again, I wish so much that our computers could do smellorama, smell-o-vision, right? Because the fragrance from an old book. Oh, that wonderful, wonderful smell. Enjoy the smell. One of the things I like about this one is its size. And we'll show you several in terms of size. Well, I like a book, and you can kind of see by the size of my hand here, I like a book about this size. Now, there are others. I like this one, and this for the point of comparison, right? You can see, all right, kind of pull that back here. You can see just how different these are in size. And to be honest, this is Alexander Pope's translation of Homer's Iliad, probably my favorite work of all time. And I'm not just talking about the Iliad, I am talking about Pope's translation. In fact, I think we've got a video on that early in our series. I don't read this one that much. I don't read it that much. Because of its size, right? But I have to say, I absolutely love the red and gold cover. This is on a bookcase in our living room, and I can't tell you. Sorry, there's some traffic going on in the neighborhood. I can't tell you the number of times my eye just goes over to this book while I'm sitting in the evening, and I just look at the book on the shelf, right? I like the look of the thing. But again, I don't read it that often because of its size. Now, a while back, I was rereading the Dune series, and this is the Berkeley science fiction. Apparently I bought it in 85. This was the October 84 printing of it. Okay. And you can see it's got some wear on it here. The pages have started to yellow a little bit. Again, I like the size of this, and in rereading this, I really enjoyed rereading it in this format, which this is the book that I read, 40 years ago. And there's just something about the nostalgia of reading the same exact volume. So I like that. But now I want to get into some aspects of a book, the physical aspects that people may not always think about. And if I wish that video had smell-o-vision, I wish really that it had touch-o-vision. I wish that you could feel the cover of this book. It is a matte finish. I'm not as big a fan of a high shine, high gloss. Excellent book, by the way. George Steiner, Lessons of the Master, is one of the best books on education around. And again, you can see by the size of my hand, a smallish book. I like the size, and I like the feel of this particular cover in my hand. I also like the color scheme of the painting. So there's that. Now, I apologize. I hope some of these background sounds don't make it into the video, but they're coming around and picking up our recycling right now. So that's what's going on. Because I like that matte finish, and I like that size, that's what I chose for this little book, From Teacher to Student, a collection of thoughts. Now, this is a slender little volume that I put out. And just to give you, again, a point of reference on size, it's similar in the size to the George Steiner there. It has that wonderful matte finish to it. I just really like that matte finish. The other thing I like, and that I chose for this, was an off-white page. And I doubt that that's going to come through very well on the video. But it's a matte, or sorry, an off-white. And I was very careful about the font that I chose, mostly Latin and English text, a little bit of Greek there. But for the Latin and English text, I went with Classic Times New Roman. Font is very, very important to me, and that's going to bring us to the last book I want to show you, one of my absolute favorite books of all time. This is Death on a Friday Afternoon by the late Father Richard John Newhouse, a Lutheran pastor turned Catholic priest, and is a meditation on the last words of Christ. Now, it also has the matte finish. I always enjoyed the gold and black color scheme. And I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this up very well. Let me share with you what this is in terms of font. It says in the back, a note on the type. Death on a Friday Afternoon has been composed in a digitized version of Weiss, capital W-E-I-S-S, a typeface designed by German typographer Emil Rudolf Weiss, 1875 to 1943. Weiss is an exemplar of Renaissance-influenced type. Its crisp serifs and chancery-based italic give Weiss a distinct beauty and render it a serviceable typeface for books. Now, we'll see if this kind of shows up here, and I don't know how well it will. We'll see if we can zoom in on that a little bit. But there is something about this typeface that I absolutely love. You say, well, what in the world does all that make a difference? I mean, good grief, isn't reading about the content? Form and content go together. For whatever reason, I am a male. That's how God designed me. I am a 20th century male, now living in the 21st century, Midwestern. Sometimes we'll talk about the scandal of particularity when it comes to Jesus and the fact that the second person of the Trinity was incarnated as a first century Jewish male. Form and content go together. And when the content is excellent and the form is beautiful, wow, what a product you have. And certainly that Vice typeface in that Death on a Friday Afternoon book, there's just something about it I love. And I've read the book several times. There have been times I have just looked at a page. I've just stared at a page that I am reading because I've been taken in by the font. Now, if you stayed with me this long, you must be a nerd as I am. So, thanks for hanging around. Talk to us a little bit. What do you look for? What do you enjoy in the physical aspects of reading? The physical aspects of reading. Have you ever thought about typefaces and the feel of a book cover? Size of a book, that sort of thing. We'd really love to hear your thoughts on this one. I can't wait to see what people are going to say. As Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.